Good morning, it's Leanne Peters here. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to pull some cards and share some guidance for this week ahead. That is this week, starting Monday the 27th of January through till Sunday the 2nd of February 2025. So that's what I'm here for. I'll be here for about half an hour, give or take 10 minutes, probably either side. Depends how much talking I do and how many cards come up and all that kind of thing. So I'll be here for a little while if you want to hang around. While you're coming over or hopefully getting a notification, I want to send out a big extra special welcome to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light members, and all of those of you who support my work through my website or through our new gallery, Harmony on High Street. I want to thank you so much for your support. I'm coming to you live now from Tasmania, Australia, where it is Monday the 27th of January and the time is 9:28 a.m. So if you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing is using my oracle cards. These are oracle cards that I illustrated and created, and I have two decks combined. We have Animal Kingdom Oracle with the Speed of Light Oracle cards. I made the decks cards the same size so we could combine them if we want to. I like doing this. I find it fun and exciting, and this is the deck I go to for my main readings. I have my healing energy cards too, which I do happen to have here because I'm about to do some other videos that need them. So I have this deck as well, which is also combined. Healing energy cards 1 with healing energy cards 2. These have been upgraded. The first deck, and these are my latest deck, which came out in 2023. I can't say last year anymore because it's now technically not last year. So these are to support with healing and to support with our self-healing, things like that. These are designed for guidance, so for readings and things. So I'll be using this deck, this combined deck of 110 cards. I'm using this deck to find the best cards that the majority of us need for this week ahead. I'm not necessarily pulling cards for every day. Some of the days will be bundled and some of the days will be grouped together based on whatever I'm feeling and whatever I'm feeling from the cards. So I trust that, and I trust in the way that I pull my cards and work with my cards that I've and the way that works for me. So I trust that something there works for you as well. So what I recommend is that you take on board what feels right, what resonates, and what fits into your life easily, and let the rest go. And think of this as a guide only, and allow yourself to be surprised. I'm not doing pulling cards for individuals today. This is general guidance for everyone. So I trust that you've been led here for a reason. And I trust that something shared supports you at this time. Good morning, Sally Ann and Alexa. We've got Neve from Ireland, and Belinda's here. And Priscilla. Welcome, Priscilla. Welcome, everyone. Okay, I'm shuffling the cards and asking the cards to show the majority of us what do we need to know for this week ahead. Monday the 27th of January through to Sunday the 2nd of February 2025. And as you know, if you've been watching my videos for a while, I do like this transitional kind of reading where we go from one month to another month, which is what we're doing this month. It's already almost the end of January, which is amazing. Incredibly amazing. So the best cards that we need for this week are these, and I've split the deck, put the top deck on the bottom, and I'm going to lay the cards out here beside me. So I'm laying them out in a way that that's intuitive. It's not a set pattern. Like if I was doing a past, present, future reading, that would probably just be 3 cards in a row. But for our weekly guidance and usual readings that I do, it's very much intuitive. So we have 2, 4, 6 cards out, and they are all Animal Kingdom Oracle cards, every single one of them. And I've even finished with 1, 2, still on the top if I was going to pull more, which I'm not unless we've got a featured card. So I'm going to pull the first card over, and I'm going to reveal these as we go. This is a card for Monday, the 27th of January, Animal Kingdom Oracle card. And it is the Crocodile card 5 for Monday. And the crocodile says to stand in your survival power. So your survival power, this is very primal energy. So this is primal, it's raw, it's foundational, it's surviving sort of energy as well. The things that we need to survive, our security. And so it's very much in the base chakra, if you're connected with the chakras. It's very much in the base chakra. It's very much about our survival and that kind of thing. So the survival, what could that mean? It could be struggling with finances, health, relationships, a roof over our head, maybe unsettledness in the workplace. Things that are the very foundations that we need to survive may be under the spotlight around Monday for some of us. We're being encouraged to have a thick skin too on Monday. So there's this sense of thick skin or armor that we're being encouraged to kind of put up to help protect us. So some of us may be feeling quite vulnerable. We might be taking things personally. And we might be feeling really unsettled on a fundamental, foundational, survival, primal level in regards to those sorts of things that I listed before. So we might feel overwhelmed by what we've got going on as well. But there is this sense of potentially taking things more personally than what they are. So we may find ourselves quite reactionary and taking things quite personally. So we might be quite highly sensitive on Monday. So if we can make sure our boundaries are secure, ensure too that our skin is thick and that we're not, and then that we're letting things wash over us like water off a duck's back, rather than letting everything in, every little thought, every glare, every look, and we're just blowing it out of proportion. That might not do us well or serve us well on Monday, but it might be the way we're inclined to go on Monday, thinking the worst kind of thing. So if we can start Monday with a thick skin, have strong boundaries, perhaps not to choose to put ourselves in overly vulnerable situations if we have that opportunity or choice, then that may be something that's helpful for us too. It may be helpful to do some physical things. I mean, this is a very physical card. It may help us to clean up, to get on top of that pile of washing or that pile of paperwork. It may help us to do some physical activity, some physical exercise to help ground us and get us back in our body instead of being all tangled up in our mind and our emotions. It sort of feels like our mind and our emotions may be snared together on Monday. So we might find if we're worrying about something that our emotions quickly kind of get on board with that worrying, and then everything or this particular thing may be blown out of proportion. So our emotions and our mind, our lower mind, may be quite tangled up on Monday. So a way to resolve that will probably be to do something physical and try and just let those thoughts and let those emotions go. So if we're out in the garden or if we're exercising, let's imagine all that sort of stuff that's filling up our head. Let's imagine ourselves letting that go. Imagine it leaving. So quite physical energy wants to come in, but it feels also quite complicated. So primal energy tends to be quite simple. It's very foundational, but this energy feels a bit complicated, a bit complex on Monday too. So we probably want to be careful that we're not getting too caught up in the complication of things, that maybe we need to take a step back. Maybe we need to simplify things. Maybe we need to get back into our body. So do something physical, some exercise or something like that. So that's Monday. quite strong energy. So Tuesday and Wednesday, the 28th and the 29th of January, we have Animal Kingdom Oracle card, which they all are. And we have, talk about sensitivity, we have the Sea Dragon, card 18. Whoops. And it says, to be gentle with yourself. So there is a highlight just with this card on sensitivity, vulnerability, feeling fragile. So this is really extending through from what I've already talked about Monday without realizing this card was coming up next. So this card brings a bit of a camouflage energy through. So some of us may feel that we want to step back around Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe blend in a bit, not be too standing out too much in a crowd. Some of us may feel like that if we're in a crowd at all. And there is this breakable feeling, like this fragility, like glass, like breaking glass or breaking an eggshell sort of feeling. Some of us may even feel like we're walking on eggshells around Tuesday and Wednesday. So I think it's going to be very important for us to, especially if we're inspired to on Monday, to be physically active, as physically active as we are inspired to be or as we're able to be. And that will probably help us when we move into Tuesday and Wednesday's potential vulnerability as well. So this one tends to be more about emotions, whereas the survival card, the crocodile, is very much about our survival things that we're dealing with around finances, health, money, the roof over our head, our work situation. And it's also very physical, but also a feeling with the crocodile for Monday is that entanglement of the lower mind and the emotions. Now this card really brings the emotions in. So this is very much an emotional card, and we may find that some of us feel this may be an afterflow or an aftermath of emotion that flows forward. Maybe the reality of things is kind of sinking in and we're trying to come to terms with where we are personally on a survival level at the moment. Financial, health, relationships, work, home, that kind of basic survival stuff. And we might be trying to figure out how to move through that. So we might still be feeling quite raw, quite sensitive, and we're being encouraged to find a flow really on Tuesday, Wednesday. Find a flow, that we're a rhythm that we can move into and work through with that sensitivity. So it's not something to reject, but something to, in some ways, listen to, because when our emotions and our sensitivity is heightened, it's trying to get our attention for some reason. And if we continue to push it away or ignore it or tell ourselves that we shouldn't be feeling so sensitive or so vulnerable, or why am I so emotional today? If we keep rejecting that, the emotion's going to get louder, and then it can become like a tidal wave that kind of washes over us, and then that can really knock us over, if you like. So what I find, if my emotions are getting strong and loud, they're trying to tell me something. So I need to listen to them. So in times like that, if I'm feeling like this, I'll probably get out my journal and just sit with this intensity of feeling. Why do I feel this? When did it start? What is it trying to tell me? And ask myself questions, and then really feel for the answer and try and let the emotion flow. Try and let it move, because emotions want to be in motion. So it's unnatural for emotions to be bottled up, but that's what we tend to want to do in many instances. So if you're bottling up, you're probably going to feel yourself want to explode like a volcano. If you can listen to and connect with that intensity of emotion, maybe writing down, and writing down might be a really good way to work through it, then you'll probably find that sort of the dam wall breaks and then the water flows on, instead of the dam wall and the dam building and building and building, and then a big tsunami of water just rushes through. So think of your emotions like water. Try not to bottle them up, but let them flow by listening to them and feeling your way through things. And if you can do that, then the intensity, the sharpness of the emotion, that will subside, especially as we flow with it, that will subside, and the intensity, we're not going to carry that through. We'll only carry the intensity through if we continue to ignore or try and say that that emotion is wrong, or that emotion is too big and I don't want to look at it. Well, that's ignoring it, and then it's just going to get bigger. It's going to bottle up and fester and fester and fester. So there is an intensity that we can potentially trap ourselves in if we're not feeling our way through. So already keys are getting physically active and doing our best to listen to what we're feeling and let that energy, let those emotions flow. Now we move to the last, no we're not, we're going to Thursday the 30th of January, Animal Kingdom Oracle card. We've got the fox. I was looking at the fox the other day and I thought, we haven't seen you for a while, and here it is. Card 8. This is great because this is a return to determination. So it's like the intensity of emotion and lower mind thoughts, the negative thinking kind of feels like it's pulling aside. And by the time we get to Thursday, if we've allowed this energy to move, then the fox calls us forward with a determination and a sense of willpower and direction. It says to find a way to carve out this new path for ourselves. So if we find ourselves tangled in the jungle and we don't know, and we're sort of stuck here and we don't know where the path is, then this card is suggesting we just get out our tools and cut our way through the jungle and through the vines and make a path for ourselves. Let's make a path. If we can't find a way out, if we really can't see a way out, let's find a way out. So there is a forward pull here, and there is a sense of a return to almost like a power in the mind, where the mind, with determination and willpower, to just find a way through. We might not be able to easily see where our path is, and instead of being trapped for much longer, let's make a path for ourselves. So this is finding a way to carve out this path for ourselves. And anytime we talk about path, we're looking at our life's path, we're looking at direction, we're looking at where we're going in life. So the fox is about that path, it's about the direction, and it's about just picking a direction and going for it. And if it's, well, you know, if we are in a low space, we might be thinking, well, I don't know if this is the right path. Maybe I should go that way. Maybe I should go this way. So I think it's just about looking for any little sign at all, and following that and seeing where it goes. It's not going to be the end of the world if we have to backtrack a bit and adjust our path. We're always adjusting our path anyway. So instead of being stuck and these vines just becoming even more overwhelming around us and tangling us up in them, let's find a way to get out of this obstacle and this feeling of being trapped. So this is the energy for Thursday. Nice and highly motivating. And now the final day for the month, Friday, the 31st of January, we have the zebra. The zebra is card 22. And it says alternative options. So this is about looking for other options. So we might find ourselves initially determined and just going, right, I'm just going for it. I'm just going to give this a go and see what happens. I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to surrender it and see what happens. This is that energy of the fox. And then we might find ourselves a little bit through the jungle. We're carving out this path. We're whipping through the vines and the jungle. And then we perhaps come to a T-junction or something, and we have a choice here, a choice between maybe 2 or 3 options. So this is options, and options can be confusing because now it's like, okay, now what? Which path do I take now? But it's a darn sight better than feeling trapped and like there's no path there around us. So instead of that feeling of being tangled up in the jungle and we can't see a path at all, it's better to have options. So we might find ourselves, especially around Friday, actually having some options. And if we don't have options, we might need to create some for ourselves. So if we're going down a path and it just doesn't quite feel right, or we're getting taken advantage of by a person, a professional, an institution, we may need some second opinions. We may need some other advice. So if we're going down a path with someone or something that feels not right, this doesn't feel right, like it could be legal, some type of professional thing, it could be health related, then we are being encouraged to ask questions and maybe look for other options. There might be someone more suited, or there might be another option. There might be a second opinion that we can go and get. So this is the sort of energy around for Friday. Alternative options are present, so let's notice them and be open to the options that are available. Okay, Saturday, the 1st of February, an Animal Kingdom Oracle card. And we have the bear. I was looking at the bear this morning too. I was looking at the bear in my memories on Facebook came up my collection of artwork. And around this time, which was about 2014 to 2016, I was putting all of my artwork into a folder on my Facebook page, and there's like 150 artworks, and I was flicking through just interested to see what was there, and I saw the bear, this bear. This is the bear for the 1st of February, card 43, and it says to move out of the rut. To move out of the rut. So this is fairly similar to the fox. There is a coming out feeling, a moving forward feeling with both the fox and the bear. The fox is very much about the mind, so it's determination, willpower, and just going for something and finding a way through this mess. Whereas the bear is about coming out of our hiding place, coming out of our cave, coming out of that room, coming out of that place that we've hidden in. Now, this could be our comfort zone. Sometimes our comfort zone becomes too comfortable and we hide away in there. And a lot of Cancerians probably know this because they tend to very much be homebodies and be very comfortable in their homes. But they do then tend to hide away. Not all, but in general, I've seen it a lot with Cancerian people with Cancer star sign. So we're being encouraged to come out of hiding, to come out of the rut. How do we do that? Let's look for something to entice us out of the cave, out of our hiding place. Our comfort zone is great for healing, for mending, for recovery, for rest, if we've had a busy period, catching up on rest. But it's not a good place to be all the time. So our comfort zone can become our no growth zone, and we can become bored and then stuck in a routine, stuck in a rut because of this place, this familiar place that we've created for ourselves, which is a nice thing, but it's not exactly great for propelling us forward or pushing us into new experiences in our life and meeting new people. So if you find yourself that you have this bit of a craving or urge to meet new people or try new things, then you've probably been enticed out of the cave, out of your comfort zone, to try something new. So we might find some of us on Saturday quite propelled to try new things. We might want to look up and see if we can find a community group or some type of activity in our area that we'd like to just try and see if we like it and see what goes from there. It could be something small like a little gardening group or a photography group, or even just stepping outside and doing something different. So doing something different, even just small steps, will take us out of that comfort zone that has become a rut. So the bear, out of hibernation now. And now Sunday, the 2nd of February, it's a power day, number 22. We have the air dragon. Yes, card 27. And the air dragon says, your mind is powerful. So feeling a bit of a theme here. Definitely now as we've gone through the cards, there's a strong mental theme that's coming through. Strong determination and power in the mind. Now, sometimes we might feel the opposite of that. If this is what we're learning this week, we might feel like we're worrying a lot or stressing a lot. How can we turn that into something positive and something powerful? How can we get our higher mind, I like to call it, into the driver's seat of our life, instead of letting our worries and stresses and doubts steer the way for us off the cliff or wherever it's taking us in our life. If that's not working for you, then there's opportunity this week to access something really quite powerful mentally and work with the strengths of our mind to help us move through our life at this time. So your mind is powerful. The dragons are the most powerful cards in the deck, and there are 5 of them, and this is the air dragon. So the air dragon aligns with the mind, it aligns with the air element, and it brings, we might find actually that working with the wind, if we stand out in the wind and surrender our doubt and our stresses and our insecurities or limitations or whatever is going on in our mind, if we surrender that to the wind and we can imagine the wind carrying that away from us, that can be a really great way to help us take proactive steps to clear the mind and get back in charge of our thoughts. So that's the air dragon, and we're in for a pretty powerful week mentally, but probably emotionally too at times. So let's see how we go. I am going to pull a theme card in just a moment, but before I do, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. If you have enjoyed this video, please interact. Please hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching on Facebook, please show us some love. Please comment. Please share if you're inspired to. If you'd like to learn more about my cards I've used today, which has only been the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards, although we don't know what the theme card is yet. You can learn more about these decks on my website. You can learn more about the work I do at Temple of Balance at templeofbalance.com.au. Now, if you're in Tasmania, the time is just about to arrive. It's just about our birthday month. Temple of Balance turns 20 in February. It's very exciting. So we've got some events coming up, and I also have a solo exhibition happening. It's opening this Friday, the 31st of January. And, well, it begins on Friday and it runs through till I can't think of it now off the top of my head. I think it's the 26th of February is when it, or the 26th is the last day. So if you're in Tasmania, it's in Campbelltown at our new gallery and art hub called Harmony on High Street. Now, if you are in Tasmania, I would love to see you on Sunday the 2nd of February, is the opening of my exhibition. So I'm going to be talking about Temple of Balance. You can ask me questions. And also I'll be doing a group sound healing. And I'll be making some scones. So we'll have some refreshments after the opening. That starts at 2:30, so arrive from 2 o'clock on Sunday the 2nd of February. You can just show up. You don't need to RSVP. Now, if you are not in Tasmania, which most of you aren't, I am live streaming this opening, so if you go over to Temple of Balance on YouTube, you should see an upcoming event or an upcoming live stream, which should be taking place this Sunday. Maybe it will be Saturday for you in your time, but you should be able to click like or notify or remind or whatever, and you should be able to come back and watch that video, that live video later, live or the recording if you can't make it live. So keep an eye out for that, and if you're able to come on Sunday, I would love to see you. So that's Sunday the 2nd of February. All right, let's now look for the best card that we need for our theme for this week. The best theme card for the majority of us from the 27th of January through till the 2nd of February 2025 is this. Oh, we've got a Speed of Light Oracle cards, and it is, well, this is interesting. It's the Pause card, card 25, and it says hold, time, transition, suspension, and limbo. This does bring a bit of a tense energy around. It does feel like a tension that we might be feeling inside ourselves. It could be a tension that's playing out between our physicality, our body, and our emotions, or our body and our mind, or our emotions and our mind. It feels to be some sort of tension, like I feel tight energy between these facets of who we are, these relationships, these personal relationships within us, between our body, our mind, and our emotions. So there is tension that's wanting to, the tension, anytime there's tension wants to resolve itself somehow. So it's either going to keep being tense or it's going to break. So we might find some tense moments, especially earlier this week, as we work out this relationship between these elements of who we are. And as we resolve our inner tension that we're feeling, we could also say conflict. There might be a conflict that's playing out between our body, our mind, and our emotions. You know, sometimes when it's like our head against our heart, and our head may say something that the heart says the opposite to, well, that would be like a tension or a conflict. There's an opposition that's playing out within us. That's the sort of energy that I'm feeling that we might be working out this week. So this is a pause energy. It's a pause card. It highlights limbo and in general a sense of stepping back. But it might not necessarily be stepping back. It might be stepping in, because it feels very internal, this energy that we're dealing with, very much our internal dialogue, what we're dealing with and feeling emotionally, what we're thinking and what's going on in our head, what our body needs. It's very internal. It's very personal. And that will probably be that pull, that feeling in. So instead of stepping back from life, although some of us may feel we need to do that, it's more stepping into ourselves and getting to know our inner landscape, our inner environment, and the tensions and the conflicts that are playing out with these various facets that make up who we are. And we can ask ourselves in our journal simple things like, how is my body feeling? That's physical. How am I feeling emotionally? What's going on in my mind? And see if we can figure out what these different facets of who we are, what they feel like, or what we sense them to be, so we can differentiate between these aspects, because sometimes they blend together and it's hard to distinguish what's what. We might think our body feels this way, but it might be our mind tangled up with our body that's influencing what we think our body wants, but actually it's not physical at all. It might be more mental, and same with the emotions. So all this can kind of tangle in together, and it feels to be an opportunity this week to sort things out within us, to a personal sorting out, especially physically, mentally, emotionally, and get almost isolate these areas as best as we can. Does that thing that we're sensing or dealing with fit into this side or that side, that kind of thing, and just really working it out? It feels like an internal sorting or an internal ordering of some sort. So the limbo, the pause energy really pulls us inward. This is an opportunity to heal. It's an opportunity to figure out who we are, is the feeling. So things will probably be intense and tense at times, but this is a great opportunity for us to get to know ourselves on those really fundamental levels, physically, emotionally, mentally, and get to know ourselves better on those levels. So let's see how we go. It sounds like it could be a bit of a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge. Are you up for the challenge? Turn this challenge into an opportunity to get to know ourselves better and to distinguish who we are better, and how we react and respond to things, and how we deal with things emotionally or mentally or physically. So interesting. See how you go this week. Please come back and connect with the video as you flow through, and thank you very much for watching. Have a great transition over into our new month. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Namaste.